Alright, trade recap today. Two losing trades on Forex and one winning trade on NASDAQ. Well, technically more. Well, it's kind of a winning trade to be honest, but anyways, I can explain anything later. So today is Monday, first day of the week, market open. Let's start with USDCHF because this was the first trade I took. So overall, I was actually bearish on the USDCHF. I was expecting to go down, at least take out these Asia lows, because we had here on the 4 hour a farewell gap right there. And when we scale down to the 1 hour, we see here that the retrace into this 1 hour farewell gap actually ironically creates or forms this for our farewell gap. So that's the reason why I was kind of expecting that it's not going to be like out of validation or whatever, that it's going to be still be able to to get a rejection of this level, because we had here it was visiting right there, was going down, and actually this move created this farewell gap to the 4 hour. So I was overall more bullish and wanted to see a lower low. So scaling down to the 1 hour, was seeing this, was going up to the 4 hour actually right there. So you can see scaling down to the 5 minutes, it was actually looking not too bad. We had right there a change of character also on the 50 minutes. There we go, from this swing low, and also five and 50 minutes, and then we got a sweep. But the thing is, I wanted to wait just to make sure, because New York Open was about to happen, and the fake out sometimes connect like crazy. So I wanted to see how far to the app it's going to go. But I was a bit impatient, or just I was like kind of bit acting too fast. I was entering of this little retracement instead of waiting for the sweep from the whole London session fake out. Was entering of that, and as we could see, I got subbed out. The fake out stopped me out. Not only that, this fake out actually started to become the continuation of the trend reversal. And ironically enough, when we go to the 1 hour, I saw actually right here some kind of support and resistance level. Like it was here the resistance became here the support, and I wanted to become here the resistance again. But yeah, it's not very clearly defined for the market conditions to respect that. But I thought this would be kind of valid enough of this farewell gap right there, the large one. But ironically enough, it respected this rejection here on the top. Sorry, the resistance. It respected this resistance. It was getting here, and then boom, got down. But then, ironically enough, it was respecting this level. So we had this level being respected, bouncing off, and then going a bit up again by this level. So this was like a very, very, very interesting day, to be honest. I think that's actually a prime example of when you setup gets invalidated, but it's not because your strategy or something like that is wrong. Because after that, to be honest, I don't really see any other form of entry model like that. Not even on the top here, neither here on the bottom. So again, I think that's a prime example of when when it just doesn't work out, when you get invalidated without doing anything particularly wrong. Now, to be fair, I was also getting into a trade on your USD. With pretty similar circumstances, market conditions, but I decreased a lot size, to be fair. So let's go to the 4 hour. Same thing was going on. We had here a farewell gap being created on the 4 hour. Also, in the 1 hour, their retracement actually formed this farewell gap, but I was still kind of strong on that. On the 1 hour, we see we had here another a level which we get support, resistance, and I was expecting I get a support here, so I was bullish, also in combination with the 4 hour parallel gap. Scaling down to the 5 minutes, we had here in this level, in this prominent level, actually, rejection block, no, sorry, breaker block, was going a bit to the upside, but again, we got and very strongly invalidated. This was never, this, instead of this being a fake out, it just continued to be like genuinely, like a continuation of the trend reversal. And again, ironically enough, it started to respect this level again and became here the rejection level. And as you can see, it was going down. So very, very interesting to observe that. Perhaps also kind of was, respecting this breaker block. perhaps from this side. But anyways, we had overall like at least to a certain like to a certain distinct like strong enough confidence on the time frame. But the problem is we couldn't really determine on which side is going to define or like stand itself. And also, besides that, even if we would have kind of be able to know, we don't have any kind of, point of interest or entry model in the 5 minutes. Because technically, this could have been like the confirmation. Okay, you know what? Perhaps it wants to go to the downside. Um, like it's a big maybe. But the problem is we didn't get any sweep. It was only getting to this rejection level. Sorry, this resistance level. So it didn't get any sweep, any order block, or even reach. Wait, technically rejection block. Well, okay, technically it's a rejection block, but I still not sure what this really actually is. So I'm still learning it. But yeah, besides that, we don't really have like very good point of interest. So overall, again, I think on the forex pairs, it's like a prime example how it looks like when you have a day where you just get validated. Even you know you were dealing at least to a certain point reasonable enough, even if you are we're taking a bit more for risk to a certain thing. But overall, it was like not too choppy, too iffy. One thing I can say is that regarding the 4 hour prevail gap, which didn't get respect at all, we had also the same thing right there. We also had here prevail gap, but it didn't get respected. But I was thinking like, you know what? Perhaps with this market conditions, it's more likely that certain concepts are not really working to clean out because we see here the price is very choppy and iffy right there. So I kind of get it when it doesn't get this strongly validated. But I felt like we were getting more of a structure after this resistance right there and was falling off and with the distribution to the downside. But anyways, so that's it with forex for the day. That again a prime example of how it looks like when you strategy or something like that or even execution isn't actually that particularly that bad, but you just still get validated without doing particularly something wrong. Now enough of the yap. Let's go to the Nasdaq. Um, we right now I have to be honest. We are like pretty in a. It's pretty iffy right now. It's acting pretty choppy so far to a certain level. The Nasdaq when we look into the 4 hours, so we don't have like a very clean, trajectory. Like the market conditions are a bit like, well, no, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It could be worse. Maybe I was looking too much on this one. But yeah, what we can see what here sweep was going to the downside. We had here a sweep. We have here a bit of a support level. Well, it also actually swept this one, but we can ignore this because it's just happened today. What about this wet here sweep? So we are more likely to being bearish. Scanning them to the 1 hour. Yeah, even on the 1 hour it swept. It was going down. And what did I actually see? Now we had here this level, and there was like two possibilities that we kind of are creating a break of structure and we're going to be more bullish or bearish. But because we have like some confirmation of 4 hours, I'm more likely to be bearish. Now this alone doesn't determine to be bearish, but to be honest, also to a certain level, also a bit intuition. Of course, this is the confirmation and it was intuition because also after 9 a.m., like New York time 9 a.m., we had, as expected, a very aggressive manipulation. I wasn't expecting that the manipulation was going to be this aggressive, but anyways, it was going up. It was getting to this rejection block. Now, at this place, I have to be fair enough. It's like a bit hard to actually try to validate this because right there, it's just like super choppy, and we have here the gap because first day of the week. But I was still kind of letting it counting out also in combination with the 4 hour confirmation we had. So I was also waiting on the 5 minute to have like, or at least more than 15 minutes of like a closure. So we have a sweep instead of a break of structure, and I was more bullish. To be honest, I was not really taking a trade. I was taking here trade with my other trade of eight, like proper from like eval account. But I only used this one to make it break even because I was like last week opening one trade to see if it works everything, to log in with the broker here on TradingView. It worked, no, but I was slightly in the negative, so I needed to be break even. And yeah, now anyways, long story short, I was actually trading with my top step account, like doing, I had like 15 trades, because this is the kind I'm kind of fucking around with, because I heard that, top step account like very bad, and that's the reason why, I was kind of fucking around right there with top step. And then, I was getting close to hit daily max daily loss. And then when I was also seeing we getting like more like the market like the market is a bit more forming into a bit more predictable condition, I was actually holding back and locking in. I was almost full porting right there, like in terms of the max contract size possible, like 5, because I have a 50k account on Top Step. And then boom, I was going down. Even if I was like getting a lot, I almost reached like the drawdown of this trade. I was able to get like still in the green, because again I was like full porting this one, and it just straight went to the downside. And funny enough, I didn't even observe this, but we see here this little lower breaker block, because I'm just like I just learned it recently. We see it here, the rejection also here. Yeah, we see it very beautifully. Wow. Boom, here the rejection, and also here later again, boom. Very nice. Very, very nice. So yeah, this was today a very, actually, I feel pretty good about this day. It was a very good day. Now, fortunately, I'm a bit down on my Forex and X account, and I have like little room left for errors, because this was before I bought, the futures accounts, the prop firms eval accounts, that was kind of having a crash out with Nasdaq on this forex account, and I was always like basically a full port in terms of margin. But anyways, in worst case, I'm going to wait 2 weeks to get my other one, and then yeah. So anyways, long story short, this was the trade. This was the day. This was for today. I'm actually learning more, which is very refreshing. Now today was kind of fucking a bit around too much, because I was also just tired, and the weather's still kind of pissing me off. I can't lie, but it's getting better this week, because you have to imagine 3 4 weeks straight rain. It's for someone like me insufferable, but it's okay for now. Um, like kind of the thing which just makes it way more, so like I can take it way more, which makes me to be able to take it more, is actually the progress, um, the sober progress. So actually, could be way worse. So with that being said, cheers.